decide to do this to go with this?
Now it's one of our signature dishes. It's a raw marinated and marbled scallop. It's a showcase of our kitchen. A lot of acidity, a lot of freshness, citrus fruits, and different textures.
Right.
Yeah.
So which one shall I go with first?
I think that one because it's more light.
Here we go.
So it's like a variation of cucumber to have the different textures.
Cucumbers. European way
with the Chinese ingredients.
Totally different from what we have on the streets in Beijing.
Of course, it's the Chinese kitchen is very flavorful, but sometimes for me it's too much flavors. You can't taste the original product.
Great, mission accomplished. So let me ask you this. Cooking, what is cooking to you? Is it your love, your life, or just a job?
Of course, it's a big love and a big part of my life. Not only a job.
No, okay.
But also not just life.
Not all of your life.
Not all of my life. No, it's not. I love to work, but life is too beautiful just to work.
Nice. And this is maybe it's the best. It's a blessing to do something that you love as a job.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Ching ching.
My pleasure. Ching ching.
The art of adapting and finding solutions.
It's a very intelligent way to fight, which focuses on physics and not necessarily on strength. It's something everyone can do.
The art of defending oneself against someone who's stronger and heavier.
When you're training, there's someone trying to strangle you, so that really gives you a different perspective.
The core philosophy of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This is the story of Felipe and how this sport has changed his life.
Knowing how to deal with other people and with differences, Jiu-Jitsu gives you that. It's very hard to separate my life from Jiu-Jitsu. I constantly think about it. Sometimes I need to distract myself with other things in order to actually relax. Jiu-Jitsu is my job, so it's always good to focus on other things too. Honestly, Jiu-Jitsu is everything to me.
Felipe has given everything for Jiu-Jitsu. He's a black belt. And just like the sport he lives and breathes, he's also from Brazil.
Jiu-Jitsu is a martial art focused on grappling, fighting on the ground. The whole time, it's about gaining control. People often think of the final move as the most attractive part, but the whole thing is actually a fight for control. I need to be able to control my opponent without him getting out, defending himself, or attacking me. That's the most important. The original goal was for a weaker person to be able to defend against a stronger person.
That's the ultimate task when Felipe teaches his students Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which he does in 3 languages.
So the vast here meeting, order. On a hot hand here, he can smash me here and defend. Depois a gente trabalha com isso, mas no momento agora só vai botar a mão no chão e tentar subir.
I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is more prominent than the Japanese style because it focuses more on judo, which is one of the biggest sports in Japan. I think that because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu focuses on grappling, it looks less aggressive.
parece menos agressivo. E eu acho que
And
isso
that
acaba tendo
attracts more
apelo
people
maior
who don't
pra
necessarily want to be
pessoas
fighters,
que não necessariamente
people who
vão
want to
ser
practice a sport,
lutadores, entendeu? Pessoas
learn how
que
to defend
querem
themselves,
aprender
but don't want to
que
fight
querem
MMA
se
or
defender,
anything like that.
mas que não querem, sei lá, lutar MMA ou coisa do gênero, né?
Felipe first came into contact with jiu-jitsu during his childhood in Rio de Janeiro.
Eu tinha 11 anos.
I was 11 when I started and bad at all sports.
E aí,
But jiu-jitsu worked for me. I liked it and I was good, so I started competing.
Eu já competia.
I stopped as a teenager, but started gaining weight. So at 21, when I was really overweight, I took it up again.
Quando eu tinha 21 anos, quer dizer, 10 anos depois. E aí eu tava...
It was then that I really fell in love with it. And I lost 35 kilos in 5 months.
Na época, assim, eu perdi 35
I was
quilos em
hooked,
5 meses.
and I never looked back.
E aí eu nunca parei de fazer jiu-jitsu.
At the time, Felipe was a lawyer in Brazil. Then, in 2015, his wife was offered a job in Berlin. He decided to drop everything, join her in Germany, and pursue a new career in jiu-jitsu.
No começo aqui foi muito complicado.
In the beginning, it was really hard. I didn't know a word of German. I had a hard time finding the gyms to apply for jobs. All this in my first winter here. It was so dark all the time. I often got home, sat on the sofa and thought, man, what have I done with my life? Why did I quit my career?
Felipe did what the sport taught him, adapt to difficult situations. It became easier to find work once he'd learnt some German. And step by step, the interest in a sport that was widely unknown in Germany started to grow. He now has over 250 students, including his wife, Dunya.
I started Jiu-Jitsu after we moved to Berlin. Felipe was setting up his team at the gym and he invited me to check it out. I thought, I love him. Jiu-Jitsu is something that he loves. Then there is a big chance that I will like it too.
She loved it and started training for competitions with her husband. There are so many medals now that they're almost too heavy. But one is special. Dunya is the defending European champion.
She's tough. And man, she has so much grit. If you watch her fighting, you can see how her face changes.
I'm focused.
Having a relationship on and off the mat was a challenge at first.
We're husband and wife, but at the gym, I'm her coach. So sometimes at the beginning, when she would have trouble with some techniques, she'd get frustrated and argue with me. And I had to say, things are a little different here.
But now things have changed, and any problems are not quite as substantial.
I can ask anything and voice any doubt. To me, that's the best part. Not just during training, but at home too. Whenever something comes to mind, I just ask him. He has all the answers.
Sometimes I just want to watch TV, but that's okay.
Felipe has not given up his own jiu-jitsu career and is still training for competitions. But as the most experienced person at the gym, he's his own coach. He has to get himself ready for his next match.
I love competing. For me, it's like riding a roller coaster. I have butterflies in my stomach. I'm so excited. When it's over, I want to do it again. Competing is something that makes me feel alive. It improves my jiu-jitsu.
This is his medal haul over the years, but his ultimate goal to win an international title still remains.
I was number 1 in Rio de Janeiro in the heavyweight class. I was German champion, overall champion in Berlin, 3rd place at the Brazilian Nationals. Today, my biggest goal is to become European champion. That's what I'm training for. I can't wait for competitions to start again.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, it was unclear when the next European Championship would take place. It was a very difficult time in general for contact and close proximity sports.
There were moments when I thought that contact sports would not exist anymore. People would say that COVID wasn't going anywhere and that it would remain part of our lives. Everyone was speaking of this new normal. And I thought, what is this new normal? How is it going to work for me? It wasn't getting better. So there were moments when I was afraid that Jiu-Jitsu as a sport would end.
Again, Felipe did what the sport taught him and adapted. To keep his students motivated, Felipe started recording YouTube videos. There were 150 overall. And by his side was his wife, Dunya, the only person he could be in close contact with during lockdowns.
We would come here once a week to shoot videos for the whole week. He would pick a technique, teach me, we would practice it, and then record it.
There was a point in May when we spent 2 days shooting videos for the whole month, so it was tiring. But we had to adapt, as this was the way to keep teaching, and I didn't want to stop. It's what I love to do.
His love for the sport paid off for him and his students.
He really kept the family together, and I think I was one of many people. So him doing that really kept me from driving nuts in my room. So I would really put out a mat and then looking forward to the class at 7 and just hearing his voice saying okay guys, drink some water, made me feel at home. So yeah, it really kept me sane.
Felipe came to a new country, a new culture, and he has inspired people with a sport he loves. He's built a strong sense of community in Berlin.
Some people couldn't come to the seminar, but I don't discriminate.
You'll often be in a difficult situation, but knowing what needs to be done helps you to think, to calm down, to find a little space to escape. There's always a way, and then you find a solution. I think that's how it goes in life. Sometimes we're in situations where we don't know what to do, we're lost. But getting desperate only makes it worse. So I think Jiu-Jitsu gives this focus to people and the calmness to deal with problems in a better way.
All right, people, thank you very much, guys. Awesome job.
Holiday getaway is always possible. Dhruv Rathi indulges in 3 city trips. The DW travel reporter and YouTuber discovers the peculiarities of Berlin, Munich, and Cologne. An intimate look at Germany's biggest cities.
Check in. Next on DW.
Simone Biles is an American artistic gymnast who has a net worth of $10 million US. Simone is the most accomplished American gymnast of all time, with a total of 30 medals to her name, both Olympic and World Championship medals. This tally also makes her the third most decorated gymnast in the world history, behind Vitaly Cherbo and Larissa Latinina. Some of her notable accomplishments occurred during the 2016 Summer Olympics, during which she competed as part of the US team known as the Final Five. Many believe that Simone Biles is the greatest gymnast of all time. Simone Arianne Biles was born on March 14th of 1997 in Columbus, Ohio. Simone and her three siblings were constantly in and out of foster care while she was growing up. Her grandmother started playing an active role in her upbringing in 2000, and during this period, Biles grew up in the suburbs of Houston, Texas. Raised in a Catholic home, Simone maintained strong roots in Belize while growing up, as her mother is Belizean. To this day, she holds Belizean citizenship. At a young age, it became clear that Simone was destined for a career as a professional gymnast. She was subsequently pulled out of class and homeschooled for the rest of her secondary education. This allowed her to train over 33% more, and before she had attended university, Simone was competing in the Olympics at the highest level. Biles began her gymnastics career extremely early, and by the age of 8, she was training with coaches like Aim Borman. At the age of 14, she competed in the American Classic in Houston. She finished third. In 2012, she placed first at the American Classic in Huntsville. That year, she was named to the U.S. junior national team. In 2013, she made her senior international debut at the American Cup before competing at the City of Jesolo Trophy and helped the United States team win a gold medal. Simone helped the U.S. team qualify in first place that at the 2016 Olympics, and she also qualified as the top overall gymnast in 4 of the 5 individual finals. She soon won her first Olympic gold medal at the team event, and she followed with a gold medal in the individual all-round category. She also claimed bronze at the balance beam final and another gold in the women's floor exercise final for a total of 4 Olympic gold medals. After taking a brief hiatus from competing, she continued her gymnastic career with upgraded routines from 2018 onwards. In 2017, Biles began a relationship with Stacey Ervin Jr., who is also a gymnast. After 3 years of dating, the pair split up in 2020. That year, Simone announced that he had begun dating professional football player Jonathan Owens. In 2018, Simone joined many other current and past Olympians to accuse USA gymnastics physician Larry Nassar of sexual assault. Like many of her teammates, she claimed that USA Gymnastics played a direct role in allowing the abuse to continue over a long period of time, and she also accused the organization of attempting to cover it up. She decided not to attend trial of Nassar in 2018 as she wasn't emotionally ready to face her abuser. In 2020, Biles announced on social media that she had purchased a new home, and she showed off a few pics of her new place. Not many details were published about her new residence, although it was clearly spacious and luxurious, with pictures showing tile floors and other details. Despite her famous frugality, it seems that Simone was willing to splurge a little on real estate, a smart investment. America's beloved gymnast announced on July 27, 2021 that she was withdrawing from the team competition following a stunning breakdown at a long-delayed 2020 Olympics, citing mental health issues and not an injury that was exacerbated by the pressure to be headster at the Summer Games.
To bring the topic of mental health, I think it should be talked about a lot more, especially with athletes, because I know some of us are going through the same things and we're always told to push through it, but we're all a little bit older now and we could kind of speak for ourselves. But at the end of the day, we're not just entertainment, we're humans, and there are things going on behind the scenes that we're also trying to juggle with as well, on top of sports. So yeah.
After her unexpected departure, the U.S. women's gymnastics team ended up taking home the silver medal without 24-year-old Biles, a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. This is your business brief for this hour. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. The Kenya Association of Manufacturers has welcomed the 15% reduction in power tariffs, describing the move as a significant milestone in boosting manufacturing and investment in the country. In a statement, Kenya Association of Manufacturing Chairman Musahi Kunyiha said the reduction is timely considering the impact the coronavirus pandemic has had on the economy, which has resulted in rising cost of living, supply challenges, and lower purchasing power. The 15% power cut follows President Uhuru Kenyatta's directive in December 2021 that was aimed at alleviating the economic burden faced by Kenyans. The reduction will cover the period between January 2022 and December 2022. The Kenya's food import bill rose 21% from 128.06 billion shillings in 2020, according to the latest data from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. The increase has been attributed to industries sourcing more for value addition before selling in the local market. This is the fastest growth in the food import bill in the first 9 months since a 60% jump posted in the same period in 2016 when the bill stood at 82.83 billion shillings. Now, retailers link the jump to the growing popularity of online trading that has increased direct ordering and shipping of food. Overall, the import bill for primary foods and beverages by households and industries grew to 35.55 billion shillings in September from 26.13 billion shillings at the start of last year. Kenya has suspended all inbound and transit passenger flights from the United Arab Emirates for a period of 7 days. And the move is in response to a similar directive by the Dubai Civil Aviation Authority, the DCAA, that was issued on December 20th last year. The Dubai Aviation Regulator had pointed out that the Middle Eastern country had banned all inbound and transit passenger flights from Kenya because travelers were testing positive for COVID-19, even after carrying negative test results. Now, the ban does not, however, affect cargo flights that are normally flown by carriers such as Kenya Airways and the Emirates airline from UAE into Kenya. Kenya Civil Aviation Authority Director General Gilbert Kibe has confirmed media reports that in retaliation to the same directive by UAE, the suspension will take effect on Monday, 11th January 2022. Now, the Ministry of Health is yet to probe on the matter with a view of bringing to book health officials who were involved in the shoddy deal that has now cost Kenya millions of shillings in lost passenger revenues. Kenya Ports Authority has acquired a 1.9 billion shillings multi-purpose salvage tugboat to undertake rescue marine operations during emergencies. Kenya Ports Authority General Manager Operation and Harbour Sudi Mwasingo said the decision to acquire the boat follows several expenses KPA has incurred in hiring salvage services. The authority has invested in the modernization of its marine vessels in line with the corporate equipment modernization and a maintenance program that has since inception contributed significantly towards enhancing port efficiency. Now, the vessel, christened Mkokozi 11 or Mkokozi 11, built by Marine, is now expected to boost the authority's revenue streams. It will also provide rescue services, fire suppression at sea, maritime pollution control, and marine salvage.
This is one of the biggest tugboat built in Turkey and Europe as well, and one of the biggest projects we have ever built. This is 120 ton bollard pull capacity, and we delivered this tugboat before request delivery time.
Look at the coast, the Indian coast, southern up to the eastern coastline. This is the biggest and the most modern tugboat we have had. And it brings with it the two advantages. First, it will increase our capacity. We have currently a fleet of 5 tugboats. So this adds to the fleet to 6 now. But also, most importantly, this is a salvage tug that is capable of doing salvage operations on ships in peril and in distress.
The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentist Union, KPMDU, has called off a strike in Mombasa, which was set to take effect Monday, 10th January. Now, the strike was a result of pending November and December salary arrears, NHIF deductions and promotions for healthcare workers in the county. Speaking on the development, KPMDU Coast Branch Secretary Dr. Nasser Shaban said talks with the county health department and Mombasa government regarding their grievances have started yielding fruits. Prior to calling off the strike, the union had accused the county government of perennial salary delays, failure to promote 70 health consultants who have stagnated in one job group for over 5 years, and contracted doctors to be absorbed under permanent and pensionable terms as per the national government circular that orders for them or for their employment to be on a permanent terms.
Cha kwanza tuna furaha sana kuambia wananchi wetu wa Mombasa kwamba kuanzia kesho huduma za afya hazitositishwa kama ilivyokuwa imepangwa tulipozungumza mara iliyopita. Tumeonana na watu wa kaunti na haya ndio maelewano yetu na ndio matunda tuliyopata mpaka kwa leo. Jambo la kwanza, kaunti mpaka kufikia sasa imetulipa mishahara yetu ya miezi miwili kamili. Mshahara wa November umelipwa in full na mshahara wa December in full, na pesa zimeshaanza kuingia kwenye akaunti zetu ambayo imekuwa confirmed na members wetu ambao washapata mishahara yote miwili. Kuna members wengine wa banki tofauti ambao wataanza kupata mishahara yao kutoka kesho. Kwa hivyo jambo la mshahara limeshughulikiwa kikamilifu, na hiyo tunashukuru sana na tunafurahi. Jambo la pili ambalo lilikuwa ndio kizungumkuti kikubwa lilikuwa ni swala zima la bima ya afya NHIF. Kwa mpaka leo jioni nimezungumza na mheshimiwa governor na nimezungumza pia na county secretary na timu yake kwa mikutano miwili tofauti, na tumekonfirmiwa kwamba yale malipo ya NHIF yamelipwa yote kwa ukamilifu. Na haiko simama hapo, pia tumezungumza na commissioner CEO wa NHIF Nairobi na akatukonfirmia pia kwamba pesa pia zishaingia.
Kenya has stepped up oil activities in the Lamu Basin weeks after rejecting a ruling over a 4-decade maritime dispute with a neighboring Somalia. Petroleum Commissioner James Nyanga said the Kenyan business venture started drilling last month at Mulima Moja well, which is also known as Block L11B. Now, this follows seismic surveys that revealed that the area has potential for oil and gas. Since April last year, Kenya has been mapping for oil and gas deposits in Lamu Basin, despite a border row over the area with Somalia. Now, the basin lies within the disputed territory with Somalia that has been the cause of diplomatic spats between the two countries. Now, the wells in Lamu Basin offer Kenya another chance to become an oil-producing country following the longer than anticipated wait in commercializing the South Lokishar venture. Let's take a look at how the forex market is performing at this hour. Business Brief for this hour. Thank you very much for being a part and parcel of this podcast. More on this on a Metropol TV. My name is Simone Biles.
Business doesn't wait. Why should you? Get updated with the latest business news on the go. It's simple. SMS the word news to 20146 and receive breaking news on the go. What are you waiting for? SMS news to 20146 now.
Thank you for staying with Metropol Business Center. This is Tech Tuesday, where we talk matters of technology. And now we shall be looking into the health tech space impacting Africa's retail pharmacy market through technology. And Kenya and Nigeria-based health tech startup Shelf Life is serving 1.4 million patients, on target to be one of the largest global pharma supplies, ensuring better access to key medicines and reduce costs for pharmacies in 14 cities across Kenya and Nigeria. But the question we ask today is, how does the telemedicine or the telehealth space look like? All right, so before we even go into the guest that we have today, let's have a look at that telehealth data, global telehealth data that we have, and the market value in million USD. And for the year 2020, it was at 83.76, and for 19,192.8. That is the market value in US dollars. And also forecasting 5 years later, the year 2030, we sit doing way much better by 521,774 USD. And joining us today to talk about impacting Africa's retail pharmacy market through technology and the telemedicine space in Kenya and Africa as a whole, we are joined by Ajifa Leiba, who is the lead pharmacist and director of shelf life at Field Intelligence in Nairobi. Great to have you, Ajifa.
Thank you for having me, Tabitha.
Great. Now, Ajifa, for the sake of our viewers, let's differentiate shelf life and field intelligence, and also help us understand more on what you do and your reach within the continent, because you're in so many cities across Africa.
Yeah. So field intelligence is the company. Then shelf life is like a service. It's a supply service that we offer mainly for like community pharmacies across Africa. So through shelf life, we are trying to like and then of course the sourcing of quality pharmaceuticals for these retail pharmacies. And we believe like this is very important because they are like at the forefront of like providing healthcare for the population in Africa. We currently operating in both Nigeria and Kenya. In Nigeria, we are operating in about 14 different states. In Kenya, we are currently in Nairobi, we are in Mombasa, and then we're in Kisumu.